with voters who are ready to question the three Democratic candidates for President of the United States.
Tonight, the Democratic candidates on one stage in Iowa.
Help me make it happen.
Everybody ready to make a political revolution?
To the true minds admitting impediments, love is not love which alter when alteration finds or bends with a remove it to remove. Oh no, it's another thick smart that looks on tempest that is never shaking. The star to every wandering barks, whose words and all his path be taken, etc., etc.
Do you have any specific plans to grow the economy at a rate that will increase job growth for those, so that those who are long-term unemployed or fallen out of the workforce will have an opportunity to get back in?
I always say think about 20% first before you have 100. So this is not just for people who are making a movie, but it's really to anything you do with your life. You see, this is what people don't understand sometimes, that because I want to have certain stuff, I will never allow people to temper my project. As you probably know, I'm very stubborn sometimes, and that's what the room relate to you, to everyone, because better have 20% first before you have 100. And sometimes you have to be patient. So my advice to respond to your question again, think about 20, 40, 60, and then you think so far, and you'll be very successful.
Yes, I am undecided. And question I have is, because of the extreme number of our military personnel returning from war zones, combat zones with PTSD, what is your feeling towards reestablishing a military draft? And for those who are not deemed worthy to go to military draft or to be drafted into the military, do you have any options for them where they can serve our country for a couple of years prior to going to college?
I know today you are busy, I'm busy, so we have little sort of conversation, but some of the stuff doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, media people, but at the same time, I have great respect for everyone. I think if a lot of people love each other, the world would be a better place to live.
There aren't enough people to replace them. So my question is, after decades of rural out-migration and farm consolidation, what can we do, what would you do to provide opportunities and invest in a new generation of family farms for the country?
Yeah. Are you talking to yourself right now? Seems to me you're talking about yourself right now.
I knew we had...
What is your point?
Recently, you named Planned Parenthood and the Human Rights Campaign as part of the political establishment that you plan to take on. How are you going to fight for women's rights more effectively than a female candidate with endorsements from organizations like these?
No.
In light of the recent mass shootings, I'm interested to know how you're going to make inroads with the powerful gun lobby to establish more effective gun control legislation.
Midnight. And the crime in America, what is between midnight and 2 o'clock? Did you get the picture? So between 12 and 2 o'clock, what's happening? Because you did not respond.
Monumental for the LGBT community across the nation. But we still face a hard battle ahead, especially in the areas of employment and housing. In many states, we still face discrimination. I was wondering, what would you do as president to help us to acquire full equality in those areas on the federal level?
That's a good question. What is the room? The room is relationships. The room is you and me and everyone in America. That's basically what the room is. I always say you can laugh, you can cry, you can express yourself, but please don't hurt each other.
When you are elected the next president of the United States, what will you say to Republican voters?
So it's again, you know, sometimes I'm not on the same page, but I'm happy. I have a respect for everyone. And also I want to say it again to all the fans of the room, thank you for your support. And again, I would say you can laugh, you can cry, you can express yourself, but please don't hurt each other. Enjoy the room.
So yeah, right on cue with that, you're aware that national polls continue to show you trailing Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders. So to those that are still undecided like me, or maybe just less informed about politics, on top of what you've already talked about, what's the last thing that you would try to tell them to convince them that you are in fact the best candidate for the Democratic Party?
Well, I have a vision, but except some people did not have vision, never mind about that. And I always say if you create something from scratch, you can be successful. So my point is that, you have to be detail-oriented, as you know, Greg. So you have something to share too, and that's why you've been hired as line producer as well as assistant. And people don't realize that, and maybe someday they will.
All right, thank you.